Hey everybody, once again, I'm doing a broadcast. It's been a while, but I'm super excited because this broadcast I'm going to be posting on my new platform, which is called Steemit. Steemit is something I'm super excited about. I wish I had understood about this a long time ago, like a year ago, when the thing was like, it's been out for a little over a year, maybe 2 years. And I am super excited about this because Steemit is a platform that is just like Facebook and some of these other places where you can share content and potentially get paid for it in cryptocurrency, which is exchangeable into other currencies that can turn into dollars if you really need to do it. So, all my posts that I'm worried about the economy and how the central banks are controlling things and how I believe they're going to bring the economy down eventually. And they're going to bring it down in a way where they take money out of depositors' bank accounts because that's the new way of saving the system or prolonging it rather than saving it. They give the illusion that they're saving it by keeping it going, and really they don't solve anything. It's like putting a Band-Aid on a major cut. It keeps bleeding and bleeding, but they just change the Band-Aid over and over again, and it doesn't really heal. It just keeps bleeding, but the Band-Aid slows the bleeding. So this new platform is awesome, and I want you guys to into it. Everybody should look into it. We should start moving away from Facebook and YouTube and all of these platforms where they're censoring us because they don't like the freedom that we're starting to express. So the best way they can do it is by hitting us in the pocketbook. And this is the way I tell everybody else to vote too. You can vote by your pocketbook, whether it's in politics or you're talking about voting in a store. You can take your wallet somewhere else. You don't have to spend your money there. And just because that place goes out of business doesn't mean there aren't other places that will satisfy your needs through their goods and services. So the way I see it is Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg knows how to be a hypocrite and tell us how to be, and he wants us to be able to post things on his site, except when it doesn't make him happy. But then he goes off and you can see how he treats the Hawaiian people when he buys real estate with the billions of dollars he's made off of Facebook. That really pisses me off personally as a Facebook user. I really love the Facebook platform, but when there's someone like that, they start clamping down on our freedoms. My freedom's more important than you. I don't care how much I like you, but if you try to infringe on my freedoms, I mean, that just pisses me off to high heaven. So I'm super stoked that I discovered Steemit. And I was also stoked when I found Instagram as well, because Instagram's allowed me a different platform to express myself. It's allowed me to put videos and images in ways that I didn't really understand how to do it on Facebook. And now Instagram, then connected to Facebook, really makes it so much easier for me to understand the social media. So there's a learning curve to Steemit, and you may not do it the same way somebody else does, but it gives you potential for people to pay you for your content that you make. If you make commentary like I'm doing right now on Instagram Live, and I'm going to post it on Facebook, and I'm going to post it on Steemit, it gives you a chance to get paid. And it's a little bit different. There's a little bit of a learning curve, so you need to be able to translate what's going on. Like in Facebook, we do things for likes, but in Steemit, you do it for the Steemit currencies, and there are 3 versions of it. I'm still learning the platform. There's a lot to learn. But I'm learning as I go. I found that that's the best way to do it. And because it took me a week to get approval, I see it that if you wait too long, there may be a time where they don't allow people to get Steemit accounts anymore. So it could be exclusive. I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but I'm saying it could happen. And so never ever wait. Fortune favors the bold. And if you are the type of person that goes on Facebook anyway and you look at other people's content and you comment on it, or you create your own content and you have people comment on it and you have conversations with them, whatever it is you do, you can do the exact same thing on Steemit, and you're going to find Steemit's a little bit more technical right now because it's started by the crypto anarchist type people like myself, where we don't like government doing too much. I'm not completely into anarchy, but I believe that the government really should not be taxing us and telling us what to do. It should be the other way around. We should be telling them what to do. And if we decide to give money to the government, it should be a donation at this point, especially as Americans. America has become one of the wealthiest superpowers the world has ever known, if not the wealthiest superpower the world has ever known. And so at this point, they shouldn't be forcing us to give our money. We earn our money, and we shouldn't be taxed our money. Before the Federal Reserve and the central bank and the IRS were all created, there was no tax on your income. People don't know what it's like to have that, because that happened in 1913. We had the Federal Reserve and the IRS created. We don't know what that's like. We're so used to paying tax. Most of us have paid tax all our lives. So we think that that's normal when we make money. Why should that be normal? That's your money. And then you try to do things to get refunds or rebates on your taxes, meaning they're going to send you money back that you earned already in the first place. Don't let them take your money. So this is the thing with the cryptocurrencies that I really love. And Steemit being a place where you can earn cryptocurrency while just doing the things you do on Facebook. This thing is going to be big. I'm telling you, it's going to be big. So these cryptocurrencies are a total different system. It's almost like a government created currency, except the government did not create the currency. It's these systems created by people like us, where we go and we invest in them. Individuals who are creating these currencies. There are millions of cryptocurrencies. I happen to choose the Steemit currencies, which are part of the Steemit social media platform. So I'm recommending to all of you, sign up a Steemit account, get to know it, use it regularly, earn money on it if you can. If you don't, who cares? Do you earn money on Facebook? No, you don't. You waste your time on Facebook liking things, and you don't even make cash off of it. So this is a way to look at it. Another way to look at it is I'm into network marketing. Robert Kiyosaki, one of the great multimillionaires of our time and entrepreneurs, who wrote the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad that almost everybody knows, among other books that he's written with his advisors and his wife. He really likes network marketing, and I really like network marketing. And so the way I see it is network marketing is a social networking business. It says social. We're in a social world. You have social networks, you have social media, you have social platforms that require us to work together, to talk to other people. No man is an island. And he sees it as the best way to make money, because you are leveraging other people who have the same interests as you. And that's the way I see it with these social media platforms. Except like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Tumblr, all these other places, they actually leverage you guys to make money for them. And there's no way that you guys or me can make money off of that thing, because they're using it. And the way they make money is they get their advertisers to come in there. And if the advertisers like your content, here's where the censorship comes in. If they like your content, they'll advertise on your content, and Facebook or those other sites will generate revenue from that, because the advertisers pay for that ad space. If the advertisers don't like your content, they won't advertise on your space, and Facebook will not put that, they will not, promote you, so that you don't get any views, so that your words are basically shut down. And if you really want to get that advertiser revenue back, you'll start fitting in line with everything else. Now, I'm totally against that kind of fascism. We saw it with Bill O'Reilly. Here, Bill O'Reilly had the number one show on Fox News Channel, and the advertisers pulled their ad spots. So he wasn't making money, but he had the most number of views. Does that make sense to you? Why would an advertiser pull revenue or pull their advertisement from all those eyes? It's control. They don't really want to make the money. They're not there to advertise their business. They're there to use the wealth that they already have, or that they're getting from major investors who are traders to countries like George Soros. And they're there to pull their money. They get you addicted to the money. You get paid a little bit, and everybody goes, "Oh, great, I got paid." And they get you more and more pay, more and more pay. Like on YouTube, a lot of these people like PewDiePie and anyway, like a lot of these channels that I watch on YouTube, they made lots and lots of money, where they were able to set up big production companies with that money that they were generating, that YouTube was paying them because of all the views they were getting. And now YouTube, Google, Facebook, all these companies are creating algorithms where if you're talking pro-Trump, or you're talking pro-freedom, or pro-Le Pen, the globalist, communist, fascists want to control you. They don't want your mouth moving. They want to shut you up. If you're not talking good about their regime, they want their system to be promoted and to be kept going, like I said with the banks. So if you talk against them, they'll just pull the money, so it hurts you. Can you imagine you have a full-on production company that you made money from on YouTube, and you were able to grow it to the point where you have employees, and then one day, without any notice, you may still have the same number of subscribers to your channel, but all of a sudden your revenue's gone. It goes down 99%. Well, how do you then support that? How do you pay the bills, the electricity to run your production company, the salaries of all your employees, all the overhead costs? You can't do it. And so you either do it for fun from that point on, all by yourself. You let your staff go. You tell them, hey, sorry, I can't afford to pay you. And you try to run all this new equipment yourself. Or you find a new platform. You do it all over again. That's what I'm doing. I never actually did it for money because I realized that's what the globalist agenda was, is that they were going to try to drug dealer you, give you money, and then steal it from you when you don't listen. And I realized that they would try to hammer me down. So I always did my posts for free. But now that there's Steemit, I'm going to float it out there because I think that hard times are coming. And I believe that the currency is going to become worthless. There are two ways the economy can collapse. Donald Trump is trying to set it up so that if it collapses, the old system is gone. He's setting up new union agreements, new free trade agreements, a new system that America will fall back on when the economy collapses, where the global powers, the global liberal, leftist, fascist, communist superpowers that are trying to keep control over us and to shut us up and to have us slave every day, go to work, use all our lifetime and energy working and then paying our money to the government in taxes. He's trying to cut them out. Trump is trying to cut them out by building this new economy. And then you have the other way that the world can collapse. You have the Federal Reserve with the IMF. The IMF is going to tax people's bank accounts and basically make it so that your money is gone. Now, interestingly enough, I just noticed that the live video stream just stopped, and it didn't notify me whether I'm still live or not. Okay, I'm still live. Good. It's done that before, where I get on touchy subjects about the Federal Reserve, and then it cuts me off. Anyway, I want to keep this as brief as possible, because I want to post it on Steemit as well. So, this is my thing to you. I see this as like network marketing. Bring all your friends in. Everybody can get paid on what they do. You'll get paid for what you're worth. It's not dependent upon the person who comes in before you. They cannot make more money off of you than you can make. In fact, they don't make any money off of you. I don't make any money off of you if you come in unless we start partnering up on this Steemit thing. You come in and you like my posts and I like your posts and we comment, kind of like we do on Facebook anyway, and you start to generate Steem power and some Steem currencies in there. So I want you guys to look into this stuff. Right now, I heard a report on the news that there was somebody saying that Bitcoin is making it harder to catch criminals. Well, that's exactly what I want it to do. See, the globalist fascists are coming in there, the bankers, the money changers, the money powers are coming in there, and they don't like that they cannot control Bitcoin. They don't like that the people in China were going on Bitcoin and dumping yuan, RMB, and the Chinese government can't control it anymore. They don't like that Australia is looking to sign up on Bitcoin as a currency for them. So, and Bitcoin is only one cryptocurrency, but it's the main one. It may not be the main one in the future, we don't know, but for right now it's the most established. And so people are using it. So anyway, this report is about how criminals are using Bitcoin to avoid law enforcement scrutiny, and the law enforcement cannot track them through Bitcoin because Bitcoin is a blockchain technology which is separate from the internet, and they cannot hack into it. No one can hack into it. No one can see anything that they're not allowed to see, and so already they don't want anyone to be on these platforms, on the cryptocurrencies, on the Steemit social media platform. But they're driving us there automatically. So it's really great. Whoever invents these things, thank God there are people like this who create other avenues for us to express ourselves. Freedom, with freedom of speech. Freedom of speech you don't necessarily have to agree with or like. But the fact that it's out there is great because it might be correct what you're hearing. You may just not want to hear it. And someday you may go back and listen to it. And because it's free, it's there always. You may go back to listen to it with a different frame of mind and realize that that was the truth, and it changes your mind. And that's the importance of freedom of speech. It may change your mind because you may think one day communism is a great thing, because in concept it's great to be able to share things equally amongst people. And then one day reality hits where you realize you've been giving your money to the central government, the central authority all these years, and you've never seen a dime, and neither has anyone else. And communism did make everyone equal, but it made them equally poor. And the only redistribution of wealth that occurred was that it happened to the government people who are making all the money. You look in China, the very wealthy business people are the same people who run the government. So business and government are the same people. Think about that. That's not fair. The people all below can't ever be that wealthy. And I've gone to China, and it was kind of sad because as Americans, we didn't understand what it was like in China. And we were talking about our house and how we have a house all alone. And here the tour guide on our bus was talking about how he can't afford his own house. He's living in a small living space with 9 other families, and they're pooling their yearly income just to pay the rent. Very sad what communism does. We're seeing it in North Korea where they spend all the money on guns and the people are starving to death. We're seeing it in Venezuela where people can't afford to eat anymore. But yet people still vote for communism. It's very frustrating for someone like me. I love Cuban music and Cuban cigars and Cuban food. The Cubans, to me, show the spirit of freedom that is oppressed by the communist state. Their music is freedom to me, and I absolutely love it. And I cannot understand why those kinds of people still, even though they're free in their hearts, they yearn for freedom, and you can hear it in their music and their rhythms and their foods and their culture. They still choose government authority for some reason to lead their lives, and it's very sad. So steam it is a great opportunity for you. One other last important thing I say before I go. A little side note also before I say that. I'm still learning Steemit. I don't know everything about Steemit. There's a lot to learn. Like I said, there's a learning curve. It comes with a guide where you have to read it and understand how it works and try to translate it to the things you already know. If you do that, my greatest teacher who passed away, I think a year ago, was Norman Henry Mamie. He was a composer because I took music in college. He was a Grammy-winning composer. Greatest teacher I ever had. He changed my life. He told me, go from what you know to what you don't know, and you'll be able to understand anything. Those words are very profound. If you don't take anything from me or from anyone else ever in this world, take what I just said there and what Norman Mamie taught me. Go from what you know to what you don't know. Rest in peace, Norman Mamie. You were very instrumental in my life. You've told lots of stories on how great we can be, and never to let anyone else tell you how stupid you are. He was a great teacher. Teachers are very important, and I see myself as a teacher. That's why I come on and I make commentary about things because I want to educate people. Thomas Jefferson said the best way to secure liberty is to educate the population, and that's what I try to do. Before I've done it for free, and hopefully now I'll be able to make some money off of it through Steemit. But the very important point that I wanted to leave you with is if you sign up for Steemit, it's not like Facebook or any other platform where if you forget your password, you could just, hit the little link that says forgot password. You have to keep your password somewhere safely stored and be able to access it forever. Because if you forget it, it's a random alphanumeric password that you didn't create, and it's generated for you by the blockchain of Steemit. You save that password somewhere. Don't tell anyone what it is, but you got to know where it is and know what it is when you need it so that you can go back to it so you can sign on to your Steemit account. Okay, so hopefully I get some commentary from the people on Steemit as well to give me a little bit more education on how to use Steemit to its utmost, how to leverage it, how to do the greatness that I can. To me, Facebook was the greatest platform for me. MySpace was pretty good for me. Instagram has been phenomenal because I seem to get followers a lot easier on Instagram than any other platform because it's all visual. Words are very hard to get across to people. You can talk and sometimes it goes right over people's heads. And I try to bring it and simplify what I know. in a way that I don't use too much technical jargon, or too much technical language so that they can't grasp what I'm saying. But the mere fact that I'm all over the place and I'm excited when I talk, sometimes I lose people. So anyway, I look forward to seeing you on Steemit. I am super, super excited. Promote Steemit to all your friends and family. There's a collapse coming, and the money may be worthless, especially if the global trade agreements start falling apart. Money's going to start. There's all, I last I read, there's like 22 trillion US dollars overseas. If free trade agreements with those countries, between those countries and the US end, there's no point to having dollars over there anymore, and they'll send the dollars back unless Donald Trump renegotiates a lot of those free trade agreements to try to prevent a hyperinflation. But if he's able to stop a lot of these free trade agreements like the TPP and TPIP or whatever, or TTIP, all these different free trade agreements, if he cuts those out, there's no point to having dollars there. And a lot of people around the world use the US dollar for transactions because it's the world's reserve currency. A lot of countries are trying to get off of that now, Russia and China in particular. So if they change to a different system of reserve currency, US dollar is going to be devalued. So I'm warning everybody, you have money in the bank, your money will end up devalued at some point. And if you have money in the bank and the economy is going down because the bankers can't control it, remember 2008, they used taxpayers to bail out the banks. Well, taxpayers are not going to be willing to do that anymore, and they already said that they weren't going to do that. Dodd-Frank, the senators Dodd and Frank that created Dodd-Frank financial transactions made sure that banks would not do that anymore. So the way the banks are going to do it is through bail-in now, meaning if you have money in the bank in your bank account, they're going to take it from you to bail out the bank. So that's something to think about. You need to start diversifying where you have your money. Like in past videos I've done on Facebook, I've told people I am asset rich and cash poor. In a collapse, you don't want to be cash poor though. You need to have some cash available. I do have some cash available. But the thing I worry about is something that happened recently in India. India devalued their most valuable rupee denomination without warning people. So can you imagine this? If that happened here in the United States, let's say you had a roll of $100 bills in your pocket. They add up to $1,000. So you had $1,000 fat sack roll in your pocket of $100 bills. And then you wake up tomorrow morning and the U.S. government announces, we've now made the $100 bill worthless. They just stole your money. Your pocket's got nothing in it but paper. That's what they did in India. So when you're cash rich, you have to really think about, what kind of cash am I holding? Most likely they will devalue the highest denominations. Our highest denominations would be the $100 bill and the $50 bill. Okay? That they would steal your money just like that. And what are you going to do? Because it's the government. They're away from you. This is why I hate centralized authority. To me, all politics is local. And if your government isn't local, they can do whatever they want to you, whenever they want to you, however they want to you, and you have no recourse against it. You have no way to get back. The other thing they may do is they may inflate the currency by getting rid of the singles. They got rid of $2 bills with the Jefferson face on it. But they may get rid of the George Washington $1 bill. They could get rid of the Abraham Lincoln $5 bill. So I look at the small denominations and the high denominations as the way that they would steal your wealth. Rich people carry the $100 bills, the hundreds. And that would be where is the best place to get most of the money? Rich people. So they'll steal from the rich first. They're not going to give it to the poor. They're going to steal from the rich to concentrate it to the evil rich. They may also steal from the poor in those small dollar denominations too, so that they can tighten up the currency and try to control inflation. So to me, the best way to hold dollars would be in 10s and 20s, and a few singles if you need to do transactions in singles, but 10s and 20s if you have to have paper. The other thing is also hold what are called junk rounds. These are coins that are made with certain percentages of real precious metal like silver. The government no longer makes coins in precious metals because they've inflated our currency. You want some of the coins that are pre like 1960s or so. Look at their key dates. You'll have to do some research on that, so that if the dollar becomes completely worthless and they don't accept it anywhere, they may accept the metal at least in the coin. And it's such a small amount that if silver becomes $10,000 an ounce, I'm not saying that's where it's going, but just hypothetically, if it became $10,000 an ounce, you don't want to hold an 1 ounce coin of silver because it's worth $10,000. How are you going to get change? There's no way you're going to get change if you're going to the grocery store to buy food. It ain't going to happen. So you want a coin that has a small amount of silver, where if silver goes at $10,000, that little coin, the amount in that coin will probably be worth, $100. $100 you can make change with when you go to the store. Okay? So these are the philosophies I want you to think about with a collapse. And the cryptocurrencies are great because even though they're not regulated and they're not centralized, they're decentralized. So in order to hurt everyone, they would have to hurt everyone. So no one really benefits solely from it. It's to me the most libertarian, anarchistic form of money, and that's the way money should be. It should be in the power of the people, and that's the way it is supposed to be in the United States republic. We are a republic, a constitutional republic, where we the people are the government, and our government has forgotten that. Our representatives have forgotten that. They believe that they are the ultimate, the only government. And so this is the danger we face. So steam it, steam it, steam it, steam it. Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. Ethereum, all these other coins. Look into them. Litecoin, Monero, all these things. Look into these coins. Learn how it works. This is the new system. It's coming. Blockchain is the new way. It is the new internet, because the authoritarians are trying to shut down the internet and trying to shut down your free speech. God love you.